Lab Program 1. Design and develop a program to solve simple computational problems using arithmetic expressions and use of each operator leading to a simulation of a commercial calculator. No built-in math function is allowed to use. Here, this program mainly uses some conditional branching statements and some unconditional branching statements also. Here you can see the first line written here is a comment, that is a program to demonstrate a commercial calculator. And we all know that comments are the non-executable part of the code. And we have two types of comments. One is the single line comment and the block line comments. So here, the comment that we have used is a single line comment which starts with 2 forward slashes. Then we have a header file that is stdio.h, and we need to include the preprocessor directive at the beginning of the C program. That's what the structure of C program also tells you. Then in the main function, the first part that we write is the declaration part, and all those variables that we declare here inside the function are the local variables. So we have declared 3 variables, a, b, and res, as those variables which are of the type float. So float here is the data type of the variables a, b, and res. Then we have one more variable op, which is of the type char. And then we are using a printf function, which is an output function, the formatted output function, to display a message to the user. And the message that we display is enter the expression in the form of op1, operator, and op2. Next, once the user gets to see that message on the screen, we need to take some input from the user. So to read the input from the user, we are using an formatted input function, that is the scanf. So we need to read 3 variables, variable A, operator, and variable B. So we need to write their corresponding format control strings, right? So A and B are of the type float. So we have %f for the first variable, %f for the second variable. Then op, the operator, is of the type char. So we have %c. Then here we are using a switch statement, which is a multi-way selection statement, a conditional branching statement. To the switch statement, we are giving the operator op, right? Based upon the user's input, whether op is a plus, minus, multiplication, division, or the mod operator, we are going to execute some set of statements. So how does our switch statement work? Based upon the input given by the user, the operator that the user gives, it will execute one case, right? So this program is to demonstrate a commercial calculator, a simple mathematical calculator. So we are having different cases for each of those operator. Looking at the first case inside the switch statement, we have case for the plus operator. What if the user gives the operator as the plus? Then what should be executed? If it is plus, we need to add those 2 numbers, 2 values, a and b. So a plus b is our expression. After you add it, we are storing the result in another variable called res. So our final expression would be res is equal to a plus b, right? Once that is executed, we need to break. That means we have to come out of the switch statement. So that is why we are using an unconditional branching statement, that is break. So break is the one that is responsible to take the control out from the switch statement. Similarly, we have another case for minus. So what if the user wants to subtract 2 numbers? Then the operator should be minus. So when it is minus, we will be executing result is equal to a minus b, right? then we have to break. So this is how each of the case will be executed. Now, if it is multiplication, then there are different set of statements that needs to be executed. So whenever the operator entered is a multiplication operator, then the third case, this case should be executed. Similarly, for division and the mod operator, we have some two-way selection statement also being used, so that we check whether the denominator is a 0 or non-zero. So if it is non-zero, then only we'll be able to execute that expression. So here, if b not equal to 0, then we solve the expression result is equal to a divided by b. Otherwise, else, if this condition fails, then we just have to give a message to the user that there is a divide by 0 error happening, so that the user will know that he has to enter a non-zero number for the variable b, right? Similarly, for mod operator, we check if the second number b not equal to 0. If it is not equal to 0, we'll solve the expression, that is res is equal to a mod b. Else, we will give a message to the user, denominator can't be 0, right? Then we have the break statement. Suppose the user enters some other operator other than these 5 operators, then our execution should go to a default statement, a default case, right? So if not these 5 operators, if not plus, minus, multiplication, division or mod, then the default statement will get executed. We just have one printf statement, that is illegal operator, then break. Writing the break statement after the default statement is not mandatory, because however that's the last statement inside the switch, so the execution has to come out of the switch statement even though there is no break statement, right? That's how the switch statement works. Once the expression, any one of the expression will be executed, once it is executed, we have to print the result. So we have a display, a printf statement which will display some message to the user, that is result is, and then we have some format that we are following to display that result. So whatever you write, the way you write here gets displayed on the output screen. So result is, because we have written that message here. And then we have the format like this: A operator B is equal to result. So if A was 4, B was 5, and operator was plus, our result displayed will be 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. That's how the output will be displayed to the user. Let us look at the tracing here. For the same example that we considered for the output, here the operand 1 is 4, operator is plus, operand 2 is 5. So that means A is 4, B is 5, OP is plus. Then when the switch statement executes, the OP given to this is a plus, so case plus should be executed. Result is equal to 4 plus 5, which is equal to 9. This expression will be executed. That means 9 will be stored in the variable result and then break. So what does the break do? Execution comes out of the switch. That is an unconditional branching statement. Then outside the switch statement, we have statements to print the result. So result will be printed. That is 4 plus 5 is equal to 9 will get printed on the output screen. So that's all is your first program, which is to simulate a commercial calculator in which we are looking at the usage of the arithmetic operators, some basic arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, and mod. If the user enters any other operator or the symbol